By the end of this video, you will know how to reduce the anxiety from your next presentation. If you're a PhD or postdoc, you've experienced pre-presentation nerves. You might have tried a few ways to manage them. Breathing techniques, positive visualization, reframing it as excitement. All of those things sound reasonable. In fact, those are backed by research. But when the moment comes, just before you present, the same feeling shows up. Tight chest, racing thoughts, that sense that something could go wrong. And it's confusing because you prepared and you practice. So why, when the moment comes, does it feel so hard? This is something I see constantly with researchers, very capable people who understand their work deeply, just like you, but still feeling this spike of anxiety right before they speak. So in this video, I want to show you three things. First, what anxiety actually is, because it's usually misunderstood. Second, why the common fixes don't work even though they seem sensible. And third, what actually removes the anxiety in a reliable way. Most researchers think they're afraid of public speaking. That's not actually the whole story or even the main part of the story. If it were just fear of speaking, you'd feel that same anxiety in every situation where you talk, but you don't. You can explain your work to a colleague, you can talk in a small group, you can even get into quite detailed discussions without that same level of panic. The anxiety only spikes in very specific situations, usually when the stakes are higher and when you have to present something structured. You're about to give a conference talk. You've opened your slides the morning of your talk. You're clicking through them to review, and you're just wondering if you can get through it, all without screwing something up. And the closer you get to starting, the more self-doubt builds. So the first shift is this: stop labeling this as fear of speaking. It's not. Instead, define it more precisely. This is fear that you'll forget something. You won't be able to finish on time. Or maybe people won't understand what you said. That distinction matters because it points to a completely different solution. Breathing, visualization, reframing, these aren't wrong. They're just solving the wrong problem. All of these techniques assume that the anxiety is primarily emotional. So the solution becomes regulate the emotion, calm your body, change your mindset, reframe the feeling, and those things can help. Research shows those things do help, but slightly and only in the moment. They don't actually remove the source of the anxiety because the anxiety is not random. It's a response to uncertainty. So let's revisit what's actually going through your mind before you present. It's not just I feel nervous. It's can I remember everything? Can I get through it all? Will they understand me? Will they like it? Will they like me? And underneath that, I think there might be problems in my presentation, but you don't actually know how to fix them. So when you try and calm yourself down, you're trying to override a very real signal. Your mind is pointing to something unresolved. So instead of asking, how do I feel more calm before presenting? Ask, what am I uncertain about in this presentation? And then make that concrete. Is it structure? Is it the level of detail? Is it whether the main idea is clear? The solution is to find the source and reduce the source. When you do that, anxiety will start to fade. So let's talk about some of those sources. The root cause of presentation anxiety is not the nerves. It's the lack of confidence the presentation itself works and that you'll be able to deliver it effectively. When you have uncertainties about your own presentation, it feels risky to present because you don't know how it will land. And if you don't know how it will land, you expect judgment. That's where the anxiety comes from, not from speaking, from being uncertain about how you'll be judged. Let's think again about how you feel. You're standing at the start of your talk, first slide's up. Instead of focusing on communicating, you're worried about forgetting something and whether or not you'll finish on time and what people will say after. Instead of being able to enjoy the moment, instead of sharing with people what you do and what you figured out, you just want it to be over. Instead of presenting, you're just trying to get to the finish line. So you need to change how you prep. Preparation needs to not focus on practice more. Preparation needs to remove the unknowns. That means define a clear central idea. If someone remembers one thing, what will it be? Check each section against that idea. Does this part support it or does it distract from it? Figure out the logic, how those sections are sequencing. How does each idea scaffold on or answer a critical question about the previous one? Be realistic about the amount you can do in the time that you have. Can I give the audience time they need to think about what I'm saying and still finish within the time allowed? When you do this, everything changes. You stop guessing how it will go. You start knowing how it will go. And that reduces the sense of risk. Your confidence grows because confidence is a feeling that comes from knowing your presentation works. A lot of advice treats confidence as something internal, something you generate through mindset. But confidence can be external too. It can come from having a structure and a message that you trust. When the structure is clear and the message is clear, your brain has less to worry about. Think about the difference between two situations. In one, you've built your talk carefully. You know the key idea is clear. You've removed unnecessary complexity. In the other, you've assembled a bunch of slides from your research. You're hoping it comes together as you speak. You suspect there's too much and you might forget something, but it's what you've always done and you'll just have to get through it. That second situation is the one that feels stressful. Not because you're less confident as a person, but because the system you're relying on is unstable. So instead of trying to feel confident, build a talk that creates confidence. Before your next talk, ask yourself, can I explain the core idea simply without slides? Does each slide have a clear purpose? Is there anything here that I think will confuse people? And then just resolve those points. Confidence is the byproduct of clarity. So let's do a quick review. Presentation anxiety, less a personal problem to be overcome, more a lack of confidence in the talk you've built and how well it will work. So before your next presentation, don't start with delivery. Start by building a rock-solid talk that you're confident people will understand. Your confidence flows so naturally, you can't forget what's next. You'll be able to deliver and finish on time without being rushed. And if you want some help doing that, check out the program I've built specifically for PhDs, postdocs, and other early career researchers. It's a simple 5-step process that'll help you develop your best presentation yet. And the best part, you'll know it's going to work before you deliver it. So instead of being nervous, you'll be able to be excited for real.